All right, Ryan, you got a big question here. I've been listening to Dharma talks from other teachers from other Zen lineages regarding koans. Some seem to suggest that koans are never truly passed, that they sit with us, and there are varying levels of depth of understanding for various koans. That's correct. For example, Joju's Mu. Thus, they revisit past koans occasionally. Does the Kwan Um School approach koans this way? Okay. You know, koans, if you look at the history of them, have changed over time. Before I even get into that, our school teaches about 3 points. So the Kwan Um School of Zen teaches about 3 points. The mind before thinking. You can call that don't know mind, enlightened nature, whatever word you want to use. We talk about truth, right? Because if we experience this mind before thinking, our mind is clear like a mirror and just reflects everything as it is. Therefore, we can see the second point, which is truth. Then when we can see the truth of what's in front of us clearly, then we're able to respond in a way that's clear and helpful. That's the third point. So we talk about before thinking, or don't know mind, or enlightenment, truth, and function. How does truth function in our life from moment to moment? Or we can say, how does meditation practice function in our life from moment to moment? Or how does enlightenment function in our life from moment to moment to moment? 3 points. So various schools will either use 1, 2, or all 3 of these points in their koan training. Now, if we rewind back, let's say when Zen was flourishing in China, most people who were practicing Zen were monks and nuns. Very few lay people were. So they had most of them had a pretty simple life. Clothes were given to them, food was given to them, shelter was given to them. So they just went to a teacher, they received a koan from the teacher, and they took it back to their practice place and just really investigated that question. Some would, I wouldn't say answer the koan, but some would realize the koan instantly. Some of them maybe several years, and some of them would die with this question. So we have to remember that koans are just a technique to help us return to this original nature, this enlightened nature, this don't know mind, whatever word you want to use. The function of koans was not so important because of the situation at that time, right? Like I said, they had a very simple lifestyle. Now, when Zen Master Sungsong came to the United States in 1972, he saw that lay people were very complicated. And all that means is they're very busy, usually with family and jobs and responsibilities, all of these different things. He wanted us to use koans to help our life become clear. So another thing to say too, at that time when Zen was flourishing in China, was that a teacher would sometimes test a student. That means to see if the student experienced this enlightened nature by asking him the koan, or to see if the koan became clear. And sometimes if it did, that means if the teacher's mind and the student had the same understanding, we call that inka. Sometimes you can call it transmission, this mind-to-mind connection. The teacher would give that student transmission, and they would carry on the lineage. But in our school, we use koans to help our lives to become clear. So it's not about passing or good answer or bad answer. It's about returning to don't know, perceiving truth, and responding to truth in a clear and helpful way. So that's how we use them. So if you're interested in doing koan practice, you can contact me about that.